Busyness is not the problem. Hurry is. John Mark Comer says that hurry is the greatest threat to your spiritual and personal life. And I'm going to talk about his book, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, and why some of his theories are totally things you should apply. We live in an age of distraction, FOMO, constant chasing, and yet the ultimate example of presence and power, Jesus Christ, lived busy, but he never hurried. Today, we're breaking down the 5 practices from the ruthless elimination of hurry that can help you reclaim peace, sharpen your focus, and live with more purpose, all while getting closer to God. The proof is that the modern world is addicted to distraction, and you don't have to go far from yourself to realize this. Endless notifications, social media, comparing, it's killing our focus. We have what's called the TikTok brain. It's killing our relationships and our spiritual health. And my promise to you is that by the end of this training, you will know the 5 S's on how you can slow down your life and live more purposefully and eliminate hurry. But before we do that, we're going to go through the problem and the solution. The problem is strikingly obvious. We are distracted. We are unlimitedly distracted by so many different things that are pulling our attention, from ads to social media to different friend groups to all the things we want to experience in life, from traveling and comparison and buying things and going into debt. We are distracted and we want to live and experience everything. And there's nothing inherently wrong with wanting to experience everything that life has to offer. The only problem with that is it'll never happen. This leads us to shallow thinking. We are super stressed out. We have a lack of joy. And this is what people experience as called burnout. Hurry is violence to the soul. What's good for the soul? Eliminating hurry. If you're a business owner, if you're in sales, if whatever relationships you're in, you're a spouse, you're a parent, you feel like you're always busy and you're trying to live in constant hurry. This confuses your spirit, and you confuse all of this activity and busyness for productivity, but it's not really productive. John, he is a church leader, and I myself am a man of faith and Christian, and I love this take. I have studied lots of different cultures, from Buddhism to Islam to all the different Christian theologies, and I absolutely love this depiction of Jesus Christ, that he is the model of presence, silence, solitude. He was so busy, but he was never in a hurry. He was always teaching, healing, traveling, and doing things, but he was always present in the moment. If you look at his teachings in the New Testament, you can see through his daily living that he slowed down and he was present with whoever he was with. In all of his miracles, the feeding of the 5,000, the woman that was healed by touching his cloak, obviously the death of Lazarus. Even when he heard that Lazarus was dead, he didn't hurry to him. He said, okay, I'm going to do what I'm doing right now, and then I'm going to slowly make my journey there because I know that I'll be able to raise him from the dead. He had faith in himself, and that came from this solitude and solace. Often we hear of Christ taking time in the wilderness and in the desert. In fact, after he was baptized, we read that he went to the wilderness to be tempted of the devil after fasting for 40 days. There are countless times that he went and found solitude. He went and found peace to be able to pray with God, to commune with him. And even when he was so busy that he couldn't, he would sacrifice his sleep so that he could pray. The greatest leader in history, he was present. Presence is greater than speed and hurry. What are the 5 S's that you can apply to your life to eliminate hurry? The first S is silence. Allow yourself to be bored every once in a while. We hate boredom today. We don't let ourselves just sit there. Before phones and technology, people would just stand there in line waiting for something, or they would just sit on their porch looking at nothing, reading nothing, just enjoying existing. Sit in silence and allow yourself to be bored. When your mind is quiet, it allows you to think things and to be able to connect with God. Imagine if all the times that we were distracted, if we took away all those moments and had little connections with God, how many more connections would you have? Silence is God's first language. Everything else is a poor translation. And that's a quote from Thomas Keating. The second S is solitude. Like I said, Jesus Christ spent his time in the desert, in wilderness. He created space to think, to grow, to know what his mission was. We can do the same. Allow space to be alone, to think, to grow. What do you want your goals to be? What does God want from you? Ask yourself these questions. Step away from the hustle and bustle and get clarity on your goals and your purpose. The third S is Sabbath. We hear this all the time in Christianity to keep the Sabbath day holy. God set apart the seventh day, but a lot of us still use this day to run errands and to stay hustle and busy and to help other people, which is good to serve people, but take the time to actually slow down on the Sabbath. It's not another day off, it's a day to worship God, to slow down. Rest is not wasted time. This day will give you fuel for longevity. It's like God knows what he was doing. And the quote from Comer in the book is, if you want to experience the life of Jesus, you have to adopt the lifestyle of Jesus. This is apostleship. This is discipleship. This is following Christ, adopting his lifestyle. And that means resting on the Sabbath. That doesn't mean you don't serve. Obviously, he performed miracles on the Sabbath, but that means you rest. You take the time to be with family and friends and create meaningful, impactful relationships. S is simplicity. This is a minimalistic lifestyle. Only focus on the essentials. You don't need all these things from all these ads and all these marketing things that they say you need this bag, you need this shirt, you need this clothes, you need this car, you need this house. You don't need those things. They aren't necessary for living. True freedom isn't having everything. It's needing less. So stop chasing things and allow yourself to slow down, look at what you have already and be grateful for that. Change your prayers from wants to gratitude. And number 5 is the act of slowing down. Slow down. Take time to deliberately drive slow. I'm not saying under the speed limit, but drive the exact speed limit. Slow down. What's the hurry? Why are you rushing? Maybe slow down and get into the longest line at the grocery store. Take the extra time you have now to pray and to think. Slow down. This also trains your brain on a neurological level to be able to think slow and think fast, like we talked about in earlier trainings. There is a time and place for being busy. I'm not saying to open your calendar and have nothing to do and meditate all day. Busyness is good, and that will help you stay away from the distraction of the devil. Stay busy with good things. But when it comes to distractions, purposely slow down. Don't rush to make decisions on everything in life. Sometimes decisions need to be made and you need to make them as soon as possible. But most decisions, you can slow down and you can wait. These 5 S's aren't just spiritual things. These are things that will help you psychologically, neurologically, and they will give rest to your soul. All the hustle and bustle and hurry gets you scattered results. But presence, deep focus with who you're with at the moment, with whatever thing you're working on, with your deep work leads to actual high performance. I promise you that if you're present with who you're with, you will get better results. In his book, John Mark Comer reminds us that hurry is the enemy of peace, presence, and performance. Jesus Christ modeled a way of living that was full of purpose. He was never rushed. He did silence, solitude, honored the Sabbath, lived a simple life, and slowed down. These aren't luxuries, they are disciplines, and disciplines lead to disciples. So if you want to have a business, to have a family, to sell at a level where your conviction, clarity, and calm are aligned, you need to ruthlessly eliminate hurry from your life. If you want more training this, check out the free MindFit community below. Thank you so much and God bless.